Ballot item number 69, Order M84, second reading of Bill 84, an act to amend the Metrolinx Act 2006. Mr. Schein.
The member for Davenport.
Speaker, I move second reading of Bill 84, an act to amend the Metrolinx Act 2006.
Mr. Schein has moved second reading of Bill 84, an act to amend the Metrolinx Act 2006. Pursuant to Standing Order 98, the member has 12 minutes for his presentation. The member for Davenport.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I'm very honored to stand here today as the MPP for Davenport and to speak on behalf of my community, many folks who have waited around a long time for this debate to happen and who have waited a long time, in fact, today to be here and listen. The passing of Bill 84 would prevent the use of diesel-powered passenger trains on the Union Pearson Express Air Rail Link, and it would help this government do the right thing and electrify the new railway from the beginning. Speaker, for many, many years, people in the West End of Toronto have felt that their concerns have been ignored by this government, have been ignored by Premier Dalton McGuinty and his Transportation Minister Kathleen Wynne, and now by Premier Wynne and by Transportation Minister Glenn Murray. Speaker, in spite of this, our community has persevered and successfully held this government's feet to the fire. Not long ago, Liberals wouldn't even consider electrification of the Air Rail Link or the GO network. It was pressure from our community that made them change tracks. It was pressure from our community that forced the government to conduct an electrification study and that forced the government to conduct an environmental assessment to electrify the line. Speaker, it was pressure from our community and that has caused the government and Metrolinx to start talking about the prioritization of the electrification of the Air Rail Link. It's been community members like Rick Ciccarelli and Surrey Weinberg from the Clean Trains Coalition who are here today. It's been people like Barb Wolfgang and Elizabeth and Bessie and Don Schmidt and Eleanor Batchelder and Brian Holmes, who's here, and Samuel Perry, also in the gallery, and groups like the Western Community Coalition and Junction Rail Committee and Friends of the West Toronto Rail Path and TTC Riders. Speaker, it's because of these folks that we've been able to make progress on this issue. Thank you. So, Rick.
Stop the clock.
I just want to remind the audience that we welcome your presence, but I would ask you to refrain from joining the debate and clapping or in any other way. The member for Davenport.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like people here, members though, to recognize the hard work of these people. Putting aside your partisan differences, these people have made this city and this province a better place through their passion. I would also like to recognize and thank the political leadership of Andrea Horvath, of Sherry DeNovo, of Rosario Marchese, of federal MPs like Mike Sullivan, who's here in the gallery today.
York Southwestern.
That's right. Of Olivia Chow, of Peggy Nash, and of course my Davenport brother, MP Andrew Cash, who's also in the gallery here today. Thank you. And to City Councillors like Mike Layton, Gord Perk, Sarah Doucette, Adam Vaughn, and Anna Bailao for their support on this issue. I want to thank our Davenport team who has worked tirelessly on this issue, especially Victoria Marshall and Jennifer Barrett, Shirley Alvarez, Stephanie Nikitsas, and Nora Cole, who are here today. Speaker, it's a privilege to work with so many great people in our community. And while it's been a long fight, we remain optimistic because we know that electric trains are better for our health, and they're better for the health of our planet, and they would allow us to build a better integrated transit network. Speaker, building it right the first time will save this province money, it will take more car trips off the road, and it will help address gridlock faster, and it will reduce noise pollution for people living near the tracks. So, Speaker, with the help of members in this gallery today, I hope that we will solidify support for electrification of this line, and we will win a commitment to clean trains now. Speaker, since the plans for the Air Rail Link were first announced, residents in West Toronto have always said, build it once, build it right. And this means electrifying the line from the beginning. It's clear that electrification from day one is the right thing to do. It's the right way to go. According to the Toronto Public Board of Health, air pollution from traffic in our city already results in 440 premature deaths and 1,700 hospitalizations every year. Due to pollution, people in Toronto already experience over 1,200 acute bronchitis episodes per year and about 68,000 asthma symptom days. And Speaker, the majority of these sufferers are children. The mortality-related costs associated with traffic pollution in Toronto are a staggering $2.2 billion annually. This government currently touts the Air Rail Link as a way to combat the high costs of pollution by taking cars off the road. But their diesel plan only substitutes one source of pollution for another. Speaker, at least 300,000 residents live, work, and go to school extremely close to the planned Air Rail Link. There are over 20 schools, 96 daycare centres, and 4 long-term care facilities, including respiratory illness care centre, that operate within 1 kilometre of the tracks. And Speaker, the diesel emissions from the Up Express Air Rail Link will have a direct impact on the health of people in these communities. We know that the long-term impact of exposure to diesel fumes include cancer, lung disease, asthma, and premature death. It's undeniable that regardless of what type of diesel fuel is used to power the Up Express, electric power trains are cleaner, they're quieter, and they're better for the health of surrounding communities. That is why the Asthma Society of Canada, the Canadian Association of Physicians for the Environment, and the Canadian Cancer Society, the Ontario Division, why all of these groups support my bill. So, Speaker, with the health of our children, seniors, and families at risk, I ask this legislature to commit today to clean trains now. Electric trains are proven not only to emit less air pollution than diesel trains, but they also emit less greenhouse gases than even the highest grade of diesel technology. And that is why the Toronto Environmental Alliance supports this bill. To reduce our emissions, to reduce our carbon footprint, we need a commitment in this House to clean trains now. The GTHA is crippled, as we know, by gridlock that costs our economy $6 billion a year. And too many of us lose precious time every day that we are stuck in traffic. But, Speaker, by choosing to build an executive service that's a diesel-powered Up Express, this government will waste a chance to address this growing gridlock crisis. Metrolink's plans to charge riders $25 to $40 per trip on the diesel Up Express. But the Ontario Auditor General raised concerns about this business model. The auditor found that this executive-priced fare is a cost that many people just cannot afford. In fact, Speaker, nearly 75% of people in the GTHA, 75% of residents, 60% of visitors, and 90% of airport employees who want to ride the Air Rail Link say they could not afford a ticket at a price of $22.50 a ride. So, Speaker, surely this Air Rail Link should serve the thousands of people who work at the airport every day. People like the flight attendant that I met just weeks ago, who instead will be forced to commute hours each day on the TTC. Because of this high ticket price, the auditor called the Metrolink's ridership projections, quote, overly optimistic. The auditor also pointed out that the inconvenience of carrying luggage to and from one of only 3 available stops will further deter ridership. But because diesel-powered trains cannot start and stop quickly, the diesel plan cannot accommodate more stops on the rail. And that is why there are only 2 additional stops along the way. So, Speaker, without additional stops, experts predict that the Air Rail Link will not draw high ridership or run at full capacity. According to Professor Andre Sorensen, a human geography professor at York University, not only could an electrified Up Express accommodate more stops and increase ridership to and from the airport, but it could also function as an affordable way of building the West End downtown relief line. Increased ridership could then help lower fares. And the Up Express could then help reduce pressure on subway lines in our cities. Speaker, Joel Vanderwagen, a transit activist who has studied transit systems across Canada, has called the current diesel plan, quote, the worst current example of wasted resource and opportunity. She rightfully asks, what is our purpose? Do we want to move people or build expensive projects? Do we want to relieve congestion or provide lucrative contracts for big consortiums? Speaker, she suggests that the Air Rail Link is an opportunity to use electric trains to provide an integrated regional transit service across the west end of the city and beyond. Toronto City Council understands this. They understand the potential of the Air Rail Link. That's why on April 10th, 2012, Council passed a motion for the province to electrify the line, to add additional stops along the route, and to ensure an affordable fare, a motion that was supported by Councillor Holliday, and I look forward to his support on this bill today. Speaker, without tearing up roads or digging costly tunnels, electrified train service would benefit local communities and businesses and tourists alike. And Speaker, at a time when transit dollars are in short supply and our transit systems are under immense pressure, we must plan smart transit that moves the most people in the most cost-effective way. Now is not the time to build expensive, elite services that won't meet the real transit needs of our city. The Pan Am Games provide us an opportunity to do the right thing and to reinvest in our city and province, but we need to ensure that the money that we spend serves our communities beyond the 3-week games and after the athletes and tourists return home. Speaker, over the last few years, we've seen the costly impacts that poor planning can have on our power supply, on our health care, and on our transit. And Ontarians are growing tired of seeing our public dollars spent on the political interests of the government instead of on the public interest. Speaker, this kind of poor planning and cynical politics weakens people's faith in collective action and the political will to make critical public investments. We can't afford to waste our time or money by building the air rail link the wrong way and then converting it later. So, Speaker, to ensure that we're making a wise investment in our province, we need a commitment to clean trains now. The benefits of electrification are well known. That is why the government, the Liberal government, the Regional Planning Authority, Metrolinx, now claim that they will eventually convert the line from diesel to electric. A few MPPs have also begun to talk about electrifying the air rail link by 2017. Those are Liberal MPPs. But, Speaker, I want to stress to people here today and people who are watching at home that the fact that this government is even considering this now is due to the pressure that you have put on this government and the work that we've done in our community to put pressure on them. It's about the advocacy that these people have done. But don't be fooled, because this government has made no official announcement, no official commitment to electrification by 2017 or by any date at all. And that's why there's no mention of electrification by 2017 on any Metrolinx websites at all. And that's why when I asked the minister directly in his house whether he would commit to electrification by 2017, he didn't answer my question directly. Speaker, currently the only commitment that this government has made is to spend millions of dollars to run hundreds of diesel trains through our neighbourhoods in time to welcome the world to Toronto in 2015 for the Pan Am Games. Talk about electrification without any firm timeline or commitment to deliver gives our community little reason to believe that we will see an electrified route anytime soon. Speaker, I urge the government and members from all parties to support my bill and to support a smart and healthy, environmentally safe investment in our province. Let's build the Union Pearson Air Rail link right the first time, Speaker. Thank you.